Stop scrolling. This is the most important top 10 on this channel. Because strength fades, speed gets countered. But a plan that's already 10 moves ahead, that never loses. Today we rank the top 10 smartest anime characters of all time, across every series. These are the minds that won wars without throwing a punch, manipulated governments from the shadows, and in one case, tricked the whole world into killing them just to bring peace. By number 1, you'll question everything you thought intelligence in anime even means. A child who dismantled one of the most oppressive systems in anime history before turning 15. Norman cracked the truth of Grace Fieldhouse faster than anyone, then stayed behind voluntarily so others could escape. When he returned, he'd built an underground resistance, developed chemical weapons from scratch, and mapped the entire political structure of a species that had enslaved humanity for centuries. He didn't just survive the system, he engineered its destruction from the inside. The boy every soldier dismissed, who ended up being the reason humanity survived. Armin deduced Annie was the female Titan before anyone considered it. He talked Berthold into hesitating long enough for the plan to work. He convinced a god-level being to sacrifice himself through pure logic. He never won a single physical fight. He won every war he was ever part of. The smartest person in the room doesn't need to be the strongest. They just need to still be thinking when everyone else is panicked. Shikamaru plans 100 steps ahead. One of anime's definitive master strategists. IQ over 200. He became Chunin by forcing his opponent to surrender without anyone getting hurt. He outwitted Hiden, a literal immortal, and buried him alive through pure tactical thinking. He became the strategic backbone of an entire world war before he was 20. Shikamaru never needed to be the strongest, just the last one thinking clearly when everyone else had already reacted. Second youngest academy graduate in history. But Itachi's intelligence wasn't academic. It was architectural. He constructed a plan spanning decades that simultaneously fooled his village, his brother, and the Akatsuki, all in complete silence. He died letting the world believe he was the villain. His true plan only became clear after his death. That's not cleverness. That's long-term thinking so deep it operated invisibly for years. The only person on this list who rebuilt human civilization from scratch. Senku recreated modern science from zero using nothing but raw materials and his memory. He calculated how long he'd been petrified using his own heartbeat as a timer. He developed antibiotics, electricity, and gunpowder in a Stone Age world with no tools. Every problem becomes a chemistry equation. Every enemy becomes a physics problem. Most people pick L. Most people pick light. The correct answer for pure detective work is Nier. He did what L couldn't, built a case airtight enough to actually end it. Nier created the exact conditions that made Light's self-defeat inevitable. L chased Kira from one step behind. Nier set the board and waited for Light to sit down. A child dismissed by everyone around him, who won the most dangerous intellectual battle in anime history without ever raising his voice. The most underrated genius on this list. Koro-sensei was simultaneously the world's greatest assassin and a teacher who had already calculated the psychological trajectory of every student years into their futures. He could grade 180 papers, cook a meal, and run a lap around the earth before his students blinked. His understanding of human psychology was so precise he engineered personal growth in teenagers, written off by every other adult in their lives. His final plan, staying in the classroom knowing exactly how it ended, was the most quietly intelligent sacrifice in anime history. Light Yagami and L are widely considered the gold standard for intelligence in anime. Light constructed alibis so airtight the world's greatest detective spent months unable to break them. He used a dead man's hand to write names from beyond the grave. He turned his own arrest into a trap. He manipulated the task force, including his own father, while they were actively investigating him. Remove the ego. Remove the God complex. Light without arrogance might be the most dangerous mind in anime history. Over 125,000 fans voted L the smartest anime character of all time. He identified Kira from a single manipulated broadcast. He inserted himself into the investigation as a suspect to get closer to the truth. No Death Note, no Shinigami. Just a mind processing information faster than anyone on the planet. L predicts his opponent's moves before they even make them. He lost the battle against Light. He won every argument about who was actually smarter, and the entire fandom is still debating it 15 years later. Lelouch won the largest fan intelligence poll in anime history, beating Light, Senku, and Shikamaru. Characters like Light are brilliant but undone by arrogance. Lelouch saw his plan through to the absolute end, even when it meant becoming the villain of the entire world. He declared war on a global superpower alone, built a resistance from nothing, and Zero Requiem, engineering his own public execution so his death would unite the world in peace, is the single greatest act of strategic intelligence in anime history. His strategic acumen set a standard heralded as the pinnacle of intellectual prowess in all of anime. Light wanted to become God. Lelouch became a martyr. That difference is the difference between number 3 and number 1. 10 minds, 10 kinds of genius. And the Light versus L versus Lelouch debate will never die, which is what makes these series the greatest psychological anime ever made. Who did I miss? Is Lelouch really above L? Drop your ranking below. Subscribe. Next video. Top 10 most manipulative anime villains of all time.